I'm back, guys. The boys are vetoing on Battle.net. I will just go ahead and host the first map. I'm actually gonna increase the brightness settings a bit much. A bit more. I don't know if that makes much of a difference for you guys, but I feel like now you guys can see me a bit better. And my beautiful decoration. I think we need a candle as well. We'll get a candle after this best of 5. Da, da, na, 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 na. Alright, Moondance is going to be the first map between these two. Create with mods. Where do we find our game heart? Here we go. Nice carrier. Thank you, matey. I'm gonna turn this off for a bit. I need to save the battery for the Netherlands. Eva says he needs a minute, sorry. So my idea was actually to make this the opening match of the night. But Eva said that he wouldn't make that because he has school till 5 p.m. And obviously in the UK it's 1 hour earlier than it is in the Netherlands. So I was like, alright, what about the second match then? Would that work? And he's like, yeah, that would work. So here we are. So cool to see Benny. I love you, man. Thank you for playing. I'm very excited. It's been so long since I've seen Ben play. Hello, Raza. What race does Iba play? Iba is a Zerg. Iba is Zergy. Born in 2009. That doesn't even sound realistic, guys. Thank you so much, Invisibles, for the 10 gifted subbies as well. Hey, Taylor. Hello, Taylor. I would love to see you once as well. I don't know if you still play, but I could probably find a nice match for you. Oh, really? That was with Eva? Okay, ready when you guys are. Yeah, I cannot. I don't even want to spend too much time on the fact that Eva was born in 2009 because that does really make me feel like a grandma. Apparently, when DeMusliM was at the Team Liquid headquarters a couple of weeks ago to get ready for his big Age of Empires tournament, he had a 35-minute game against Eva. So Ben is ready. Eva is ready. Eva said he finished his chicken and chips. Good luck and fun, lads. The War of the Roses Part 2. Many years ago. For all the diehard fans out there. Total Biscuit once upon a time organized a best of 9 between DeMusliM and Bling to determine who is the best player in the UK. I think back then Ben won, but it was a banger of a series, like 5-4. Here we are, many years later. A new War of the Roses. This time around, a dinosaur versus Youngblood. I'm super excited for this one. Probably the favorite best of 5 that I think I've had in all 10 weeks so far. Because I love watching Benny play, guys. It's one of my best mates.
Let's get it on. Round 1, fight.
In the bottom right side of Moondance, we are looking at the main base of one of the best Age of Empires 4 players in the world. But of course, for many years, he was also one of the absolute best Terrans in Europe. I lived together with him in Germany. He was part of Evil Geniuses. He lived in America for a while. And these days, you guys mostly know him as a caster. But he's got the RTS skills. This is my good friend, Benjamin Baker, DeMusliM. Oh, Bling won it 5-4. I thought Benny won it back then. I stand corrected. I stand corrected. In the top left side of Moondance, we are looking at the main base of the young man that is born in the year 2009, but he is already a damn good Zerg. A while ago, he made 6,000 MMR, but most of the time he's between 5.5 and 5.8k, but that's still pretty damn good. This is Eva, representing the Platinum Heroes. Okay. Yeah, yesterday Benny was getting a couple of practice games in. And we played against each other on Cosmic Sapphire. And he did have the meta opening of like multiple Reapers and a Hellion. He made a mistake by showing the second Reaper very early. But then I made a mistake by, instead of chrono boosting workers or chrono boosting my Stalker, I recalled my Stalker and a probe immediately. So I was 1 unit short and I lost 9 probes in the beginning of the game. That was not a very sweet start, but we had a good game. We went on for like 17 or 18 minutes. Brazil just lost against Croatia. What's your prediction for the finals? I have been feeling for a while that it's going to be the Netherlands against France. I think Holland against France is pretty likely. But I feel like whatever finals we get, it's going to be very exciting. Because it will have the Netherlands. So, of course, I'm excited. And it will be happening at the same time as Home Story Cup 22. Oh, my goodness. I can't wait. I never had the feeling that Brazil was going to win this World Cup. I know that a lot of people thought that they were the big favorites and whatnot, but I just didn't have that feeling. We have Ben opening up with a Reaper. We're going to see if the old man can still control his Reapers a little bit. Oh, can we get First Blood? Just to get some momentum. He does.
First Blood.
Oh, Ben. Second Blood. Double kill. What's happening? But now his Reaper is a bit stuck. That's actually pretty good, getting 2 Zerglings this early on. Obviously, it's not super important, but... you know, these are the little things that adds up. And it's probably going to give Ben the feeling like, okay, I can do this. He was saying that the old man still has it. One of my favorite stories from the EG house came from In Control many years ago. Where when Ben was a member of Evil Geniuses, and obviously Evil Genius had a lot of money, they had this big mansion in America. And they basically had this setup where everybody was supposed to practice all day, every day. And then apparently when Ben was at the peak of his abilities, he was playing a lot of Dota. At one point he was playing so much Dota that even his manager said, like, Ben, this week you have clocked in over 80 hours of Dota. Are you playing any StarCraft? So at that point Ben realized that he had to play a bit more StarCraft because they were onto him, that he was getting a bit lazy. And Ben would hop on StarCraft, queue up a ladder game. He would get Idra. He would proxy 2-rex him, build 3 bunkers in his natural, would win, and would log off and say, still got it. And go back to Dota. That was Ben in his glory days. Playing for EG, getting paid I don't know how much a month to play StarCraft 2. As these 2 Hellions, by the way, Ben is off to a flying start, man. This is actually all pretty good. Bit of lost mining time, 4 drones falling. I think Eva's probably a little shocked at this point. Ben is probably going to play pretty YOLO throughout the series, because I feel like whenever you haven't played that much StarCraft, you're never ultra confident in your super late game. So you're kind of just going to do what you still know, and that is just be in the face of your opponent and apply a lot of pressure and try to get a lot of drone kills. Yes, Idra was often not very happy having Ben as a teammate. When the dust settled, they were still good friends. We have a Liberator sieging up in the main base, but I'm going to keep a close eye on these Hellions because Ben is just finding value. For everybody who said that Eba was just going to spank DeMusliM, that ain't happening so far. This is all Benjamin Baker, guys. 7 drones going down, Liberator causing a lot of lost mining time. Oh, it's the other way around. DeMusliM, those Age of Empires skills are paying off. This is actually a really good start for Ben. We're 5 minutes in and he has killed 12 drones and a queen. Who needs elephants when you have a Liberator?
Justice reigns from above.
Seems like the Liberator will get picked off. Yeah, because Eba has been so busy in defending the aggression of the DeMusliM so far, he also hasn't been spreading, I think, as much creep as he would like to. In a 6-minute game, I don't think this is the start that Eba envisioned at all. Benny's gonna be feeling it. We're going up to 5 barracks. I wouldn't be surprised to see a bunch of 8 racks out of Ben today. Because I think that is a build, you know, that even if you're not feeling like you're 100% tuned in, dialed in, and in the zone, and you know, maybe not everything feels as comfortable as it should in a game of StarCraft, I think that's something that Ben is still going to be pretty comfortable with. When Ben was still very active, he always had this build. Ben used to do a lot of 2-1-1. And then he would follow it up with 16 extra Marines out of Medevac 3 and 4. And it would line up perfectly with Stim, Combat Shield, 1-1. And he would just show up with like 32 Marines, 4 Medevacs. And he would take out some of the best Zergs in Europe. Because he just did it better than almost everybody else. Since I was living with him, he would show me every single replay when he took out a Laser or a Lambo or even Serral once in a blue moon. Hoping you give us at least one Ben impersonation during this matchup. If the games allow it, I will. Triple Widowmine production and even a 4th TC going down, so no 8 racks on 3 base. Benny is taking his time. That armory, by the way, is early. You don't often see that. These Widow Mines are already going to be the permanently cloaked boys. Craft looks promising. Iba has done a very good job in suddenly getting that creep out, because in minute 5 we took a look at it and there wasn't really a whole lot of creep to work with. I think in the last 2 minutes Iba has done a lot of things right. But Ben is here with an army and these banelings do not have speed yet. It's not going to take too much longer, but it's still going to take another 10 to 15 seconds. Ben, this is a bit risky. Okay, it's working out. It's kind of working out. Why is he here without medevacs? The 2 medevacs do show up. Baning speed is done. And this is where the DeMusliM needs to be very careful, because all it takes is 1 or 2 of these banelings to connect with the Marines. You have 3 Widow Mines here, but the Overseer is going to reveal all 3 of them, and that's pretty big for Iba. Just to be able to clean up that first set of Widow Mines that could obviously already be devastating and could be very scary. It's going to make him feel a bit better. Upgrades are on point, by the way, man. This is maybe where things get a bit more difficult, right? Because obviously Iba has a perfect scout on this. He knows exactly when this base is going to go down. And if he can split some units off as Ben tries to go full Clem, but it's not that easy to go full Clem. And a couple of Banelings do connect. Iba with a very good split there on a couple of Zerglings. Going to clean up every single Widow Mine. And Iba is clearly finding a lot more momentum at this point. Doesn't really have any transition inside yet. We don't see a Hydralisk Den or a Spire or anything among these lines, but he's done a good job recovering from what I felt was a relatively tough early game. Who is that? Who is what? Oh, it's my brother, guys. My brother seems to plan every single activity on the Friday night. As you guys know, I had an issue with the warm water pump, and I had no warm water for 5 weeks. That is fixed right now, but this other thing, the one that's broken, is still there because it's very big and heavy, and I cannot get it down myself. So my brother scheduled a meeting with his mate to carry that big thing down tonight. So that is what's happening in the back. A broken water boiler, heater, whatever. Yep. Well, it was probably even more than 5 weeks, to be completely honest with you guys. Yeah, it was tough, but it was also a very humbling experience. I washed myself in the old-fashioned way, where you boil a bit of water downstairs, and then you mix it with cold water, and then you put the water in a pan and you pour it on top of you. That's how I lived, guys. I went back to the 1500s. Iva is trying to get his first tiny little run-by going. As he's also going to... Ben dropping a 5th command center on location. I want to say I think that's a little bit ambitious. Not getting the worst rate here. And as long as he doesn't lose too many SCVs, it's obviously not bad. The upgrades are absolutely flying for Benny. He's super on top of this, man. We're 10 minutes in, guys. And 3-3 is on the way for our bio player. And I have the feeling that Iba is getting a tiny bit carried away. He's fighting very far off tree, but with only links, we finally have a proper Widowmine shot. That's a lot of links and a couple of banelings going down. He just immediately rebuilds the 5th base on location. You play Age of Empires for a couple months and apparently there's no fear anymore. Good job there by Iba, splitting off a single Zergling, dragging that Widowmine shot into the medevacs as well. You can barely see the Marines, but there are 6 or 7 of them. Iba needs to chill though, because he doesn't have a hive yet. We don't have like a lurker transition on the way or an ultra transition. The supply is not looking good at all for the young man from the UK. And even though Ben has more medevacs than he has Marines, the splits, he still got it. Splitting up Marines like he's in his prime. That Widowmine did do a bit of friendly fire, but Iba is, I think, being overly aggressive while he didn't have the best economy throughout the game. Hasn't done any economic damage, and it's only Ling Bane. At least we're gonna have +2 melee to work with right now for our young Zerg, and +2 carapace finishing up as well, but Ben is complementing his army at this point with all the things you'd love to see from a Terran player 12 minutes into a TVZ. Couple of Marauders to soak up those Banelings, still plenty of Widow Mines. We're even gonna have a couple of Liberators in the mix, and I feel like that's going to be very problematic. I don't know if Clem or if Ben is aware of the fact that he could scan and take out a couple Cryptoids, but the first libs are going to set up. Reinforcements have arrived. It's just 5 or 6 Marines. But these Marines, they slap. One more Widowmine connects with a Queen that has a lot of energy. And Ibas is running out of steam. He had a lot of money in the bank earlier when I was being overly aggressive. But Benjamin Baker, one of the best Age of Empire players on the planet, is showing us that he still got it. And a lot of people said Iba was just going to smack Ben. Well, so far Ben says, not on my watch. If Benny signs up for something, guys, he's always going to do his best. And he has played a very good first game. Moondance is, of course, a good map for Terran. So it's not the end of the world for Iba. But Ben just played really good. The macro was on point. The micro was good. The strategy, it's just very meta. He's playing standard. And he's got phenomenal trades across the board. And after 13 minutes, Benjamin takes the 1-0 lead. He traded very well, man. 7.4k difference in a 13-minute game. Solid. Give me the points. The points are for the entire best of 5. The points are not for a single game, but... Ben has always had this, and this is why I was not afraid to ask Ben. As Jeremy Reimer in the chat said, it's kind of fun watching games like this. Seeing, okay, that's not what I meant. I meant Into the Sky saying, actually pretty surprised with how good Ben still is with not much practice. We joke among the casters that Ben really is a video gamer. All the events we've had in the past, if there are PCs backstage, Ben will be playing, guys, no matter what's happening. No matter who's playing in the tournament, what phase of the tournament, Ben will be playing, whether it's WoW, Overwatch, Dota, StarCraft, Age of Empires. Ben is a gamer. He's always playing. He just loves it. Let's see what the map 2 is. I guess they want me to host. Second map, Inside and Out. That's a surprising pick, to be honest. But okay. This is Iba's map choice. Ben had first map choice. It's only one game and it's Moondance, so not the end of the world. And we cannot forget that Ben actually had a very good start in this game, right? I feel that almost every single thing that he went for in the beginning of the game, whether it was Lynx, a Queen, or a bunch of drone kills, he got everything over and over again. If Iba has a much cleaner start, there is a good chance that we're going to see a different game. But Ben definitely showing us that he belongs. It's tough to counter on Moondance though, right, Ian Blue? Because the third base is obviously the pocket expanse. So I feel like on that map, everybody's a bit more hesitant on going for counters immediately. Ben is ready. Iba is ready. Let's go ahead and hop into game 2. I'm already proud of the old man. I'm already proud of him. What's Iba's MMR? He peaked at 6,000 MMR maybe 2 or 3 months ago. Right now it's more like 5.5 or 5.6, but that really goes for a lot of guys that were very good. It's just because there's a bit less ladder activity, where 5.5k in the past was what we consider not very impressive. There's actually a lot of good players right now around that MMR, and I'm absolutely not saying that because I'm around that MMR more often than not. Oh, I hear a knock. I don't know who's knocking or what's knocking. 1 second. I don't know if they're opening. I can assume somebody's opening. I don't think I need to do it. Thank you very much, Jacob. Sorry, guys. Distracted because my brother literally plans every single activity on the Friday night. I always tell him Monday night, Friday night, I'm not available. I will be available every other moment of the week. Somehow, without failure. Every single Friday and Monday, he asks me to do something.
Round 2, fight!
In the top right side of Inside and Out, we are looking at the main base of the young man from the UK, born in the year 2009, representing the Platinum Heroes, and he's getting 2 racks, baby. This is Iba. In the bottom left side, I don't know what's happening now. I hope they will open the door. In the bottom left side, we're looking at the main base of the man who's doing the strategy that he's done so many times in the past. He's hailing from the UK, but he's living in Sweden in this day and age. One of the best Age of Empire 4 players in the world. This is DeMusliM. And Iba, his overlords, guys, have been looking, have been searching, have been scouting, but they do not quite see yet what is actually happening. Ben is not going for the all-out version. It's not 3 racks without a gas, but this could still hurt. Right now I'm following the first-person view of Iba. Oh my god, the bunker is going up and he still doesn't see it yet. Yo, Jacob, thank you so much, mate, for the 50 gifted subs. I want to give you all the love, but we have to talk about this bunker that's going up right now in the natural. This is the very first time Ibas sees it. And Ibas following the Mr. Biller advice, where it's better to overreact than to underreact. As there is a bug, guys. There's no game sound. I'm going to have to restart StarCraft as Iba has the surround. One Marine does get picked off before it hops into the bunker. But this looks painful, man. This really does look a bit painful. One more Marine is trying to make it in and it does not make it in. But that's still a lot of drones going down. And we already have the gas going up at home. I apologize about the lack of sound. Oh, wait. I muted it. I don't know how that happened. Okay. Yeah, sometimes there is a bug where even if you use Control S... Okay, I'm an idiot. We're moving on. There is a real bug, guys. No, I promise. I know you guys are laughing at me right now, but there is a bug. I've had this twice over the last few months where sound just randomly stops working altogether. But this time around, that wasn't the case. It was just me. I apologize. Yeah. It's a real thing, I promise. DeMusliM, I think, overall is pretty happy with this, no? We got an Overlord. We got a grand total of 8 drones, love lost mining time, 8 Zerglings, and he only lost 2 Marines, 2 SCVs, and a bunker. Oh, Iba losing a few more links. That's painful. I don't know about fighting these 2 queens, Ben. I think we're getting a bit... Hello, Iba? Shooting at the barracks. I think that's... I want to say it's a good start for DeMusliM. Obviously, Iba does already have 2 bases up and running, and it's still going to take a little while before the second command center is done for Ben, but... I feel like if this isn't good, then it's very rarely good. I guess it's because I heard shouting and somebody was knocking on the window. Which I don't really understand because there are 2 people in the house that could open the door. And I told them as well. I was like, please just leave me alone tonight. But we are fine. 3rd CC going down in the main base as well. So Ben goes from all-out aggression in the beginning of the game with the proxy 2-Rex to a very macro-oriented follow-up. Who do we like it for, chat? Talk to me. I feel like this should be good for Ben. We have a starport already halfway done. Barracks are going to get a pretty good scout off. This has to be good for DeMusliM, no? Definitely Ben smashing it. Okay. I'm glad I'm not that crazy. They just dropped something that literally made my ground shake. Oh. My neighbor's going to be very happy with me over the last few weeks. I did apologize in advance where I'm like, yeah, we are currently suffering from the pump breaking, so there's going to be a lot of loud noise and some bangs here and there while we're trying to figure this out. And they're like, oh, we don't hear a thing. I'm like, that's impressive because I feel like the entire house is shaking, but guess my neighbors are pretty chill, and I'm lucky in that regard. Iba tries to get a little scout off, and he sees that there isn't really a whole lot to gain for him with the Zergling. A fusion core, guys. 5 minutes and 18 seconds, we have a fusion core going down in the bottom of the main base. That could kind of slap as well. Iba's currently working with 3 queens, but there are 3 more queens on the way. Is there a way that Iba can get a good scout off? These games are on the old patch. I do think that Iba was the one who slid in the DMs yesterday, and he's like, hey, shall we play on the new patch? I was like, I love that idea, but I feel like we can't do that, like, not 1 or 2 days before the event. Because this is all still, like, it's just entertainment. We're trying to have fun. I'm trying to just put on a fun Friday evening of games every single Friday. But there's still $500 on the line every single Friday. And I think it's a bit random to contact players like 7 days or 10 days in advance. And then 1 day before the event suddenly be like, hey, you're playing on the new patch. Like, maybe the Friday after Home Story Cup, I am willing to do that. I think the new patch will probably be live in the 1st or 2nd week of January. But it's also... Ooh. By the way, guys, a couple of factories going up. Ben! Yeah, I guess it's kind of obvious since he left both the barracks on the top side of the map. I was a bit distracted, but... Ben going full Gumio on us. It was important for Iba that he's going to pick up on this. He does have the Lings on patrol at the 3rd bases, so he knows at this point, and he obviously... Maybe he's able to put 2 and 2 together when he's like, if you want to play bio, I highly doubt you leave both of your barracks on my side of the map. Leaving 1, that's pretty normal. Leaving 2, that's a bit unlikely. Not the cleanest Hellion micro here by Benny, as he lost 3 out of 4, loses 4 out of 4. Eba's getting a couple little victories now. How good is Eba against mech? I have absolutely no idea. We have the first battle cruiser using tactical jump into the pocket expander. We're also going to land the Viking. This landed Viking in the main base has some potential, but Eba has acknowledged it. He's sending a couple of links over to deal with that Viking. There are queens everywhere. Ben needs to be a little bit careful. I want to say this BC is in a bit of trouble, and I know BCs are tanky, but especially if we fly it in range of a spore crawler, there is a lot of creep. I have the feeling that Benjamin Baker is going to lose a battle cruiser here. Is he going to lose? Maybe not. Okay. Oh, it's still pretty close, but it will live. When I say it's pretty close, 64 HP maybe isn't all that close, but I was a bit worried. Ben is going to lose his Top Gun Viking. I wonder if that donkey has already seen Maverick. Because Ben is a very big fan of Top Gun. It's his favorite movie of all time. And I told him that Maverick is absolutely amazing, but I don't think he's seen it yet. This run by could hurt, because I don't think, I want to say we have too many Hellions out on the map, but we actually have 9. One tank does get fully surrounded. That tank is going to get picked off. One Hellion morphs into a Hellbat, but that one will fall too. As Ben is going to try to get a couple of drones for his efforts on the other side of the map. Queens for days. Yeah, pretty good defense, I think. Pretty good defense. Only 2 Hellions remain. I mean, 10 SCVs going down there. Just a couple of Zerglings and a tank and a couple Hellions. I feel like Ben is indeed now in a bit of a pickle. Whatever he had in mind, it is not quite working out. We do live in the yellow submarine and we drop 4 mules at once. That's going to make this graph a lot more even. Might even favor DeMusliM here for a split second, but as soon as it goes on, guys. It takes a couple seconds before the mules kick in, but I think now we're going to dip blue. No more red states, all blue states, but the entire map is going to be revealed soon. I have the feeling that this isn't looking all that hot. Now obviously when we play mech, we can kind of turtle for days. And if we have a very strong defensive setup with turrets, maybe a sensor tower, a couple tanks, and that battle cruiser count will increase, there is always some hope. Yamato is not quite done yet. Tactical jump is available on both these guys. Corruptors are very good. I think all of you guys know this. Tactical jump being used on the first one. Obviously I don't expect either player to really make a mistake here. Eba should not lose 1 Corruptor at a time. Ben should not randomly lose a BC. Yeah, a game that I feel started off pretty rough for Eba because he scouted it very, very late. The first time he was aware of the fact that he got 2 racks, I think that bunker was already like 25-30% done. That's normally a nightmare scenario for the Zerg, but look at this. 10, 12 creep tumors at a time. This Ling has put in some serious miles, by the way, today. This reminds me of high school. I don't know how they call it in English, but we call it a shuttle run test. Shuttle run test. Where from one side of the gym court, you have to run to the other side of the gym court, and there is a beep. I was never very good at this. I hated it. It was the worst gym session of the year. I was terrible at it. I did always do my best, even though I wasn't very good. And when I say terrible, I mean I was like the 8th or 9th, but I wanted to be the best, and I was nowhere near the best. I should probably try to do that in this day and age. Wonder how long I last. Corruptors are gonna go on. Let's say try to gun down one of these BCs, but there is a Cyclone keeping that BC safe, and we also have a couple of turrets. Turrets are very, very important. Because Ben knows that it takes a very long time to rebuild these battle cruisers, and it's very important to keep them alive for as long as possible. Seems like he thinks the magical number is 4. Eba is doing a very good job in just swallowing up this entire map. If I look at the mini-map, I almost get dizzy. Tumors everywhere. There's still some noise happening in the back, but I cannot imagine that my brother and his mate want to miss the game of the Netherlands, so I'm sure they will be gone in like 30 or 40 minutes. 2 Hellions are going to get picked off immediately as Eba is going to test the water. He's currently working with 56 Links, 12 Corruptors and 9 Ravagers. He is transitioning in all the late game stuff that we know and love from Zergs, Adrenal Glands, and Great Aspire, Pathogen Glands for the Infestors as well. Thank you so much, matey, for the tier 3, 36 months. And Jacob, thank you again so much in the beginning of the game. Today, you guys should never have to experience any random ads in the middle of the game. If that does happen, then it will only be once for 30 seconds throughout an entire hour. Because we are not doing the ads incentive this month. So. An optimal viewing experience for everyone. And a very sad Twitch paycheck at the end of the month for me. But at least 1 month of a very good viewing experience, guys. Ben is getting very close to maxing out. And when he's getting this close, he decides that he wants Battlecruiser number 5 as well. I'm surprised that Iba didn't try a bit harder to maybe capitalize on the advantage I feel like he was creating for himself. But it seems that Iba's game plan is, alright, you're allowed to have 3 bases, but that's it. No more. So we are going to have a proper battle around this 4th base. And take a look at the units lost resource tab. At this point, I think we can call it a dead even. 2 resources apart. Let's see how it looks after the first proper battle of this game. Couple of corrosive balls going to take out the first tank. Second tank falls as well. Ben, I feel like struggling here a little bit. Not quite sure how he wants to control his army. He land a couple of Yamatos, uses tactical jump. Iba is still maxed out, but that's because he's got a lot of units on the way. Iba lost a little bit more there, but nothing too dramatic. This command center, I want to say, is pretty important, but Ben has a couple of command centers, so even if he loses this one, he can do this again. And it is indeed very obvious that Iba's game plan is all about denying a 4th base for Ben. As 1 BC falls, I think that's the very first battlecruiser that has gone down. I will absolutely be watching the Netherlands in 40 minutes. And I will be very hyped and I'll be very biased and I'll be distracted. But I will still be here all night long for the Basilisk Big Brain Bouts. I have an exclamation mark for it. Exclamation mark WC. And it's not, has nothing to do with toilets. We have Banelings now very far off trip. These Banelings not really connecting with anything other than a single turret. We do have 1 Neuroparasite going down on the Big Daddy Thor. I want to say I think this is somewhat questionable for Iba as the BCs just teleported to the other side of the map. Ben just randomly teleports all the battlecruisers into the main base of Iba. This feels like a super crazy play because it obviously means there is no way home for these guys. And what are we really going to do here? We're going to Yamato the hell out of the Great Aspire. We are now waiting for the Corruptors to show up. The Corruptors will be here. I don't know about this play. Killing a Great Aspire and a couple of drones is nice, but he lost 3 PCs. He technically had 5 at one point, and he lost all 5. Maybe he felt that this was the only way he was ever going to be able to land this command center, morph it into a planetary, build a couple of turrets. But Iba's even taking the hatchery in the bottom right side. So that's almost disrespectful. And the floodgates are wide open over here. Ben does not have much of a Sim City, not the Sim City that we expect. Creep is literally everywhere. I think Ben is regretting that he's playing mech. Look at the vision, guys. This is like some sort of a budget horror movie where DeMusliM only sees his own 3 or 4 bases and then a little bit out there. And then if you take a look at Iba's vision, he's the serial killer who literally has hidden cameras everywhere and can keep an eye on his victims from miles away. This does seem like a pretty nice fight with a couple of tanks and Thors on the high ground. Ben maxing out on Thors is kind of an old school play, but I just think he doesn't have the money to really keep this kind of stuff up. Iba knows that he doesn't need to wipe the floor with his army all at once. He can kind of go in waves. Pick up a couple of units, go back, wait for reinforcements, go again. Wait for reinforcements, go again. Buy a bit of time with corrosive balls. He does have a lot of corruptors that are useless supply at this point. Ben is just missing, like, you know, those 4 cyclones and 10 Hellions right now to protect these stores. Otherwise, it could have actually been close, but right now, I don't think it's close. These are units that Benjamin cannot replace, and Iba can do this all day, every day. As the entire map belongs to the young man, our 13-year-old Zerg player. I think that Ben has to know the writing is on the wall for this one. 94 supply. Whenever you enter the double digits, 17 minutes into a game, and you know the entire map is purple, yeah, that's a no bueno. Imagine being a Thor and dying to Lynx. It kind of feels like one of these nightmares where you drop into an ocean and you get swallowed up by piranhas. Or it's a bunch of rats eating at your feet, but Eba is able to tie things up in a game that honestly did not start off all that hot for him. And it felt that Ben had plenty of opportunity to do something with the great opening, but the first BC couldn't get a whole lot done because everybody is pretty good at building queens. And I think Eba had like 8 or 9 queens ready to high-five the first BC. The Hellion run-bys were not as successful as they were in the previous game. And then that tiny Link counterattack, that was actually very successful. Ben lost a lot of SCVs. So for the second series in a row, guys, we're all tied up, baby. Let's go ahead and hop into game 3. I have to scroll up to see what game 3 was. Benjamin wants to play on Waterfall. Waterfall, game art. The Dutch trainer is like the most Dutch person I can imagine. The press conferences of Louis van Gaal have been quality content. I do kind of facepalm when I look at them, but I also think it's kind of funny because it's different. It's not boring. He is proper self-obsessed and he truly believes in himself, but I do think they've been pretty funny. I can entertain and enjoy them. Eba says ready whenever. DeMusliM says ready. Good luck, good luck. Good luck, guys. Let's go ahead and hop into game 3. Did you just say that one of these two is 13 years old, or did I mishear you? You did not mishear me. Eba is born in the year 2009. And he is right now the second or the third best player from the UK, or maybe the fourth best, because Razorblader is good, Zane is good, Risky still has it, but I don't know. I just thought this was a beautiful match. One dinosaur, one youngster. What could possibly go wrong?
Round 3. Fight.
If he wins, he's top 1. I don't know if Risky and Razorblader and Zane would be very happy with that, but perhaps. Top right side, that young man that is born in the year 2009, representing the Platinum Heroes, looking good in game 2. He had a proper game plan, and that is deny the mech player from ever going up to 4 bases. Mission accomplished. This is Eba. He must be a smart kid. I mean, he picked Zerg, so yeah, I assume he is pretty smart. I feel like if I was his age, I would have probably picked Protoss. Dumb kid over here. If you're that young and you already acknowledge which race you should be playing in a video game, you're probably onto something. In the bottom left side of Waterfall, we are looking at the main base of one of the best Age of Empire 4 players on this planet, but also a legend in the StarCraft 2 scene and even in the Warcraft 3 days, because that is where he got started, and that is where our magical friendship began. This is DeMusliM. The very first time I ever met Ben in real life, guys, was ESWC 2006. I guess at that point I was 19 and Ben was, I don't know, 15 or 16. And we obviously played a lot of ladder games against each other. And we interacted a little bit with each other. We were talking on Skype and whatnot. But we never met. So the very first time we ever met was ESWC 2006 in Paris. And we figured a place where we could meet. And I was like, oh, hey, DeMusliM. And he's like, Rotterdam. He's like, wow. He's like, you're fat in real life. That's the very first thing he ever said to me. This absolute maggot. Literally the very first thing that this cheeky little 15-year-old UK lad ever said to me. That I was more fat than he imagined me to be. But we've been great friends ever since. Yeah, I didn't even think about that, Dexter, but that is correct. Wow, that's even more crazy if you put it like that. But yeah, Ben and I competed in a Warcraft 3 tournament 3 years before Eba was born. In Paris. I mean, that's also kind of the beautiful thing about esports, right? It doesn't really know any boundaries and it's not really restricted to age. Ben in 2006, ESWC was always in the summer, like June or July. I don't know exactly. Once more, we have the first Reaper of Ben getting 2 Zergling kills. That happened on Moondance, but this time around he does lose the Reaper. Uh-oh. It's the old man falling apart, guys. It's not the end of the world, but you don't want to lose the Reaper, because the Reaper really complements the Hellions very well. Because when it comes to harassing drones with Reaper Hellion, you always want the Queens to shoot at the Reaper. The Reapers regenerate, Hellions do not. That's a bit unfortunate for Benny. I do expect him to go back into bio. I think the mech was a one-off. Trying to get a bit creative. I feel like Ben has always enjoyed the occasional mech game. Especially maxing out on Thors. I don't know how many games I haven't seen in the old days. Before lurkers were a thing as well. That Ben would just max out on 200 supply of Thor. Have like 20 SCVs with his army to repair all of them. I remember some games on there, like Thunderbird and stuff as well. I think that was the name of the map. Lurkers is still a thing. Yeah, but they weren't in Ben's glory days. There's a reason why Ben is building elephants right now. And Alice knows all about it. Because for a year and a half straight, Ben would wake up and do his early morning ladder streams. That's a decent amount of links, by the way, for Eba. He would just keep on stimming into lurkers. And Alice would never hear the end of it. Alice, there's nothing I can do. Look, like, I've played such a good game, Alice. But then they get lurkers and... it just does not feel fair. I do miss the ladder streams of Ben, but I'm very happy for Ben that he found Age of Empires, because he's clearly doing very good in the game, and he just seems happier on stream. And obviously we all want people to play StarCraft and be active in the community, but I think at one point, playing 5 hours a day, playing around 25 TVPs a day against mostly Barcode Protoss players, I almost didn't recognize my good friend Benjamin Baker anymore. He was not very happy, and I can sort of understand that. So I'm happy that he's happy, and I'm very grateful that he decided to still play these games tonight. And so far I think it's been entertaining. We are going for a very standard opening here of Heli and Banshee. Cloak is 85% done. Stim is on the way as well. 3 queens kind of by themselves on the edge of creep. I wonder if Ben feels there's a way to outmaneuver these queens. Eba needs to be careful that he doesn't spend too much time off creep. Look at Roddy, he's the happiest when he's casting, when he's not playing. Yeah, because when I'm playing against monkeys like you that 3-wrecks me all day. It's very hard to find a lot of happiness when that is my life, Cuckoo. Like, you don't even scout, you just open up with a reactor, have 70 marines in a random spot, as Ben has outmaneuvered the queens, guys, and these drones are in a bit of a pickle. We do have a bunch of links showing up, but the Hellions are still in pretty high numbers. Only 3 drones, a very good crisis management there by Eba. That could have gone a whole lot worse. How do you feel about the new patch modes? The more that I think about them, the more that I like them. I'm actually very, very excited over almost every single change. I think it will be good for the game, it will be good for our enjoyment of watching competitive games, but I think it will also be more fun to play. But yeah, we'll see what actually will go through and not right. These are all changes that they're going to try out, but if they don't like it, they might reverse a couple. I'm expecting the changes to go live first or second week of January. So cold suddenly. I guess the door of the living room is open and the other door is open too. Double Cloak Banshee shows up. We have a couple Spore Crawlers, but there should still be an opening here for DeMusliM. He's playing well, right, guys? You gotta give it to him. Eba is a young kid who plays a lot of StarCraft. He's doing his best each and every single day. I feel that Ben is honestly playing pretty good. Eba is also a bit more on point this game than he was in that first game on Moondance. I feel like the queen positioning has been nice. Grand total of like 9-10 drones going down so far. Yeah, 9. I think 9 is acceptable. I was very happy with the GSO announcement, by the way, guys, because I'll be dead honest, I actually did not expect that. And I'm a very positive individual. I always believe that we're going to be fine one way or the other, and there will be exciting StarCraft to watch. I had very high hopes, and still do, for an announcement of the ESL Pro Tour. Nothing has been confirmed, but I'm feeling very positive about that. I was not feeling very positive about a GSL announcement, but if we can get that one, we might actually still have both. And we have a couple of Marines stimming forward in the center of the map. 2 Overlords get popped immediately. A couple of Hellions have morphed into Hellbats. We have 2 tanks, 25 Marines. I kind of like the Widow Mines though in that first game. Ooh, Eva's supply blocked here, guys, and he might actually end up losing another Overseer. He maybe loses 1 or 2 more Overlords. Wow, that is a hefty supply block. He just ended up losing 6 or 7 Overlords. 5 Overlords and 1 Overseer. The Queens are gonna take care of this tank, but Ben just gets on top of the hatchery, and that's a straight up kill. So he loses a tank, but he kills the hatchery. Now we have 8, 9 overlords, 11 overlords. More. Chok. 11 overlords, guys. Let's go. DeMusliM scans and stims one more time. Immediately splits his marines a little bit. And pretty decent splits, but I think the banelings were just in high enough numbers that was always going to go well for Iba. I'm not exactly sure what these medevacs are up to right now. Ben is going with the 200 IQ fake.
Ready for dust off.
Ooh, he's rallying everything right now. Is this an F2 stim? Ben is F2 stimming to the other side of the map. Oh, no. Pick up, Ben. Okay, those units almost face planted into those banelings. He's getting a bit ahead of himself because it was actually looking pretty decent. And now he's bleeding out a lot of units. He does have a bunker here and a tank, so he should be fine. I wouldn't hate a bit of repair. Can we save the SCVs against these banelings? A couple of banelings are going to be in a bit of a pick. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of SCVs going down, guys. That is a lot of SCVs going down. We're looking at 10, 11. It could have been worse, but it's still pretty painful. Floating over a Fort CC, morphing this into a planetary, that's obviously pretty good. The creep is also nowhere near as crazy as it was in the previous game. Eva has 47 links and 2 hydras. I don't think that is enough. He really needs a couple of banelings. 7 banelings are morphing. If he loses this base and he goes back to being a 4-base Zerg, he could be in a bit of trouble. Liberator is not even going to siege up here. Ben gets a very important pickoff. I wouldn't hate a scan here. Seems that DeMusliM agrees. Liberator is going to siege up, guys. He's going to keep Eva busy. A few drones going to get picked off, but banelings are crashing into the Marines, and DeMusliM was not paying attention. He kind of just gets pounded upon, loses every single Marine, loses the tank. I mean, the Liberator has been sick, but maybe one death green here. Nope. Transfuse is good. Seems that these two are very evenly matched, and that's why you're going to see a couple of sloppy mistakes where at one point Ben is not paying attention, other moments Iba is not paying attention. Because obviously whenever two guys are fairly evenly matched, they're going to push each other to the limit. And if you're playing at your limit, you're going to make more mistakes than when you're simply better than your opponent and you have all the time in the world to get ready for whatever move you have in mind. I'd love to see Ben stop building medevacs, by the way, for a split second. He's sitting at 11. 11 is high. These Marines in a bit of pickle. We're going to try to micro our way out of it. I thought he would just go for a pickup. Will he pick up? Will he ever pick up? Nope, he's just going to stim away for days. There are a couple of tanks on the high ground, so they're getting good shots off. As we have a second factory going up as well in this triangle base for DeMusliM. Eba is going to try to re-establish the base at 3 o'clock. I think that's still a Liberator. That was a Liberator. First Ghost? Yes, first Ghost of the series. Trying to become a
liquid Clem,
but it's not that easy. 13 banelings is not a crazy amount of banelings though. 7 extra banelings finish up. Eba setting up a big counterattack, and if Ben ends up losing these 3 tanks, he is going to be in a bit of trouble. I really like this move by Eba. This was great. It's kind of catching DeMusliM off guard, and he's finding a lot of value here. Unfortunately for Eba, all the banelings did get picked off, and now these this actually went a bit better for Ben than I thought it would. The fleet. Stop building medevacs! We have 12 medevacs. We have the first few ghosts set on the map as well. I'm surprised that the banelings could not connect there. I kind of thought that the banelings would slip through the cracks and connect with the SCVs one more time. Are there no medevacs in Age of Empires, guys? Why does Ben love medevacs this much? He's got 6 Marauders and 12 Marines, but he's got 14 medevacs. Tell him to stop! At this point, it becomes even harder to pick up your units as well. Yes, I realize that this is getting a little bit ridiculous. Eba obviously doing a very good job in resetting the tank count there, because that's going to keep DeMusliM at home. And the longer that DeMusliM is at home, the more likely it is that his hive will finish up and that the Lynx can get adrenal glands. Then he can even out the upgrades. Ben needs a couple of depots. Maybe call down for supply depots. He's doing a very good job in pushing back the creep. I'm legitimately pretty impressed by this, because we know that Eva's mechanics are still up to par. We have a tiny drop in the bottom right side. Eva is more than ready for this tiny drop. Ben should just pick up and get the hell out of there. That's exactly what he does. Has to realize that there's probably not a whole lot in the top left, but with this many medevacs, man, I have a hard time seeing how many units Ben actually has here. But he's got more medevacs and he's got fighting units. As it seems like we have a big run by right now, and this is such an unfortunate moment as Ben is floating a bit of money. He could have had 30, 40 Marines ready to receive this run by. Actually doesn't lose all that much yet. Felt like this was going to be very dramatic. Now ends up losing 7 SCVs as one Baneling does blow up. 105 army supply. He's been getting more and more Liberators. I like how he made 2 ghosts and he's like, nah, I'm not gonna make ghosts. What? It's happening. Oh no. Alice! I told Kevin I did not want to play against lurkers. I was willing to play in his stupid show match, but they were not allowed to make lurkers, Alice. He betrayed me. 22 extra links as we have a couple of Liberators sieging up on the right side. The Hydra count not that high, so the Lib should be able to win that fight, and they do win that fight. This is a big battle of 3. Ben is micro, is honestly pretty sexy. Couple of Marines survive. We do have a couple of extra links coming in and Hydras coming in from the left side. I have the feeling if Ben just brings all the units over here, he should be fine. The supplies are super close, and for a Zerg that doesn't really have any money in the bank, it's normally pretty good for the Terran. Especially because Eva is making a lot of Hydras, but these Hydras have no attack upgrades whatsoever. Liberators are gonna try to win the fight here against the Hydras. And the Hydras will win it in the end, but there was still a couple of Hydras going down, and if you're already broke, Hydras can be pretty expensive. 5 lurkers. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, guys. I'm just afraid that Ben is going to pull an Hydra, and the moment he sees the first spikes flying his way, he's going to tap out. Please don't do it, Benny. There is still plenty to fight for. You're a 5-base Terran. You've got tanks, you've got Liberators. There is hope. No need to go full Hydra here. Seismic Spines is done, by the way, for the Lurkers, so that is their range upgrade. They also have a speed upgrade called Adaptive Talents. That one is on the way, and it doesn't take a very long time, man. Evas is going to A-move him with so many Lurkers. We have a Knight. Knight is going up now as well. It's been a great game between these two. And I think they both obviously had opportunities to close it out, or at least be a lot further ahead than when they ended up being. Maybe DeMusliM can outmaneuver the Lurkers, but we're gonna look at 13 Lurkers. Oh no. Please don't stim into them, Ben. I know this is what you've done for the longest time. And we have a couple of links trying to get the surround as well. Ben does try to gun down 1 or 2. We still have, well, quite a few tanks even. So much army supply left at home. As Eba is now also gonna get Vipers, and I think Viper Lurker is going to be almost impossible for Ben to defeat. As he's gonna queue up a few more ghosts. Yeah. I mean, the army of Ben is monstrous at this point. He's got 132 army supply, guys. That's so freaking much. I don't know what this is. One leftover tank. Oh! Ben scanned. He stimmed forward. He got on top of a couple of Lurkers, and it actually worked. That's obviously because those were not all the Lurkers, but Ben finds a big opening here, and he actually gets the hatchery. I think Eva probably thought this base would be safe, but he doesn't know the drive and belief that Ben has in stimming bio forward as he throws down a scan, picks up one more Lurker. I think now we can pick up, mate. Eva's like, they're not supposed to do that. He doesn't know our man Benjamin Baker. This is all he's been doing for the majority of his career. It's almost a shame that Ben leaves as much supply behind as he does. No, this sensor tower, by the way. The range of the sensor tower is so big, guys, that it's now actually revealing a little bit of our next map, which I believe is going to be Tropical Sacrifice. That's why we're going to nerf sensor towers, because it's literally revealing parts of Tropical Sacrifice right now. But we have a couple of snipes going down on the right side. Ben is actually doing a good job against Lurkers. He's killed 8. The man has killed 8 Lurkers. That's more than he was able to kill in the entirety of 2021. I mean, at this point, he may actually come back to StarCraft. Ben streamed for 384 hours from January to May, and he did not kill 8 Lurkers in all those streams combined. Why do you guys think he's so excited over Age of Empires? As he throws out another scan, he's gonna snipe a few more, and I have never seen him pop off like this. Eva is getting smacked here in the late game. What is happening? We do have a Overseer, and one Nidus network could become very, very problematic. Units lost resource tab, 13,000 resources more have gone down for the young man that is Eba. He does have 106 army supply too. Oh. You know that Ben wants to stim forward and go for it. We have a nuke landing as well on the top left side, guys. A nuke and a Nidus. What is happening here? Are these the big rain plays that we were hoping for as Ben is stimming on the right side? Nuke! Close! Oh, that's actually pretty good. Nidus? 12 drones going down to the nuke is quite good. Nidus does pop up. And how many Liberators do we have? We have 9 Hydras. Oh, this is gonna hurt, guys. Oh no, he's gonna stim forward. He's gonna stim forward. Alice, stop him. Okay, maybe it works. As this is Ben's response to a Nidus. He just stims forward, throws out a couple of scans, and he's doing pretty good so far. One Queen is trying to save this one Lurker forever. We need to get the final 2 Lurkers, and he does. Alright, this game is just going crazy right now. I don't know what's happening, guys. Nidus in the main base is destroying a lot of the infrastructure. But Benjamin Baker says, I've had enough for fucking Lurkers. And he's just going to keep on stimming forward. The ghost count is at 10. He needs to... Oh, no. He needs to pay attention. He's not quite paying attention there, as the Lynx are going to get on top of that too. We have another nuke landing somewhere. Where's that nuke? Fuck. Oh! 49 drones have gone down. Maybe he landed multiple nukes at once. Eva is now down to 48. Oh my goodness. But Ben's main base is in a bit of a pickle. I don't know how many scans he has. There might be a lack of scans at this point. But I think Eba is running out of steam. He is broke as a joke. We now have Lurkers from the high ground sieging the third base as well. I mean, this is chaos. It's absolute chaos, guys. This is just a little preview of what Gakpo and Memphis are going to do to the defense of Argentina tonight. They don't even know where to look. I don't know where to look. All I know is that probably it's going to end well for us. Going to rebuild a bunch of the barracks and Ben just gives up on his main. He's like, I've learned my lesson. I've tried to save my main one too many times against a Lurker and a Nidus network. Because we have another nuke, but this time around the nuke will not land. 15k resource difference between Eva and DeMusliM here. Ben has done a tremendous job in actually just not taking bad fights. As he's gonna land a few more snipes here. He's doing a good job in denying bases. A 21-minute game on Waterfall with a lot of action, honestly, from the very beginning till the very end. As we are now rebuilding 8 barracks. DeMusliM has money. If we take a look at the income, we can also see that Ben was mining more for a little bit while all the craziness was going on. But right now, Eba is actually the one who's mining a little bit more. Army value, though, heavily in favor of DeMusliM. Ghost count 13, only 1 Viper, 13 Lurkers. And it seems like the Ghosts have finally cleaned up the main base as well. I want to see this final barracks land again, guys. What can Eba do? More Lurkers. 4 more Lurkers on the way, 1 extra Viper on the way. As we have another Nidus attempt. There isn't really a whole lot to kill anymore in the main base, Eba. If that's just to create chaos, it could work, as Eba feels there's an opening to get on top of a couple of these tanks, and he does. He gets all 3 of them. That's quite big. But there are plenty of tanks on the high ground, and those high ground tanks, those are getting some proper cash money shots off. As now a few of the overseers are going to get popped too. I wonder if there's a way to kill the hive, but I don't think that's very relevant. And Ben just needs to be patient, but it's obviously very easy for us to say that because we can see all the numbers. We know how much he has, we know how much Eba has. There's a good chance that Ben feels that this game is going his way, but there's also a chance that he might think that he's super dead because he lost his entire main base as we are dropping a nuke right now in the middle of all these Lurkers. But the Ghost gets abducted by the Viper. That's a pretty cool play. Ghost count is at 12, Lurker count is at 13. Ghost landing a few snipes here and there. Do we have any Liberators left? 1 tank. That's a very sad tank. 3 Ghosts popping out of these barracks, but all the Ghosts get obliterated immediately too. DeMusliM has the bigger army, but he probably feels that he's in a bit of a pickle. He does not have a lot of energy, and all the Ghosts are misrallied. He needs to stop this. There are Lurkers everywhere. I mean, it's complete chaos. Triple snipe, but 2 of the Lurkers survive. 1 scan, and the tank gets a double kill. And DeMusliM probably doesn't have any scans. He has 5 orbitals, actually. He's going to give up on the base in the bottom right side and rebuild elsewhere. Tank count is at 8. 17 Lurkers and 3 Vipers on the side of Eba. Solo operative. Gonna try to land another nuke. I don't know if there is... You can actually just attack move drones as well. That's really not that bad. Viper's landing a few more abducts. Ben throws out another scan. This is honestly a crazy close game. Ben needs to be careful. The lurker count is high. There are a couple of low HP lurkers there on the ramp. As we land a nuke. Another one. Decent. Decent value. 6 drones going down. 16 medevacs still, by the way. If there is one thing that all the Terran fans out there don't need to worry about, is that DeMusliM runs out of energy on his medevacs, guys. I don't think that we're going to see that day. And we know that he likes to steam. Eva is going to try to go for it one more time. Really wants to deny this base. One tank shot was cash money there. There's a lurker coming in from left side. Ben needs to scan. I don't know if he has a scan. Oh my goodness. These two lurkers are getting a couple of very big shots up. Turns around now. Sees that lurker. He can just go ahead and move a couple of marauders forward. But that base is a goner. There are 53 drones right now on the side of Iba. He's still mining a bit more. I don't know about this. Ben has a lot of army supply. It doesn't feel like 108. Tiny blinding cloud. Sniping an overseer is kind of cute, but there are still 2 extra overseers on the map. 4 more ghosts on the way, and that's going to make it 14 ghosts against 14 lurkers. Like, if this was a Clem game or a Maru game, it'd be like, the Terran's winning, the Terran's got this. But it's very hard to play Terran late game. I'll say it one time. And obviously, if you are DeMusliM, you have no idea that this game is as close as what it is, and that you're maybe even winning it. He's probably hoping that it is this close, but there's a good chance that he feels that he's kind of dead. 32 supply. 16 times 2 is 32. Iba's doing a very good job in just picking up these stray tanks throughout the game. You guys want to play a guessing game? How many tanks have died in this 26-minute game, as we have a lot of snipes going down on these overseers? I mean, killing the overseers is a strategy. 36. I think that's a bit high. That tank died mid-air. A couple of ghosts in trouble. We have a Widowmine there as well. I'm gonna say 27 tanks. Few more snipes, big snipes there by DeMusliM. 21. Ooh, Ayogu. Absolutely perfect, mate. Absolutely perfect. I see you, Ayogu. I see you. Booyah, that's exactly what DeMusliM would say too. Yeah, 2 lurkers still chilling in the bottom right side. Ben needs a scan, or maybe a turret, just a couple of turrets. 4 more Vipers on the way, by the way. You guys not gonna take lightly to the fact that Ben just sniped a couple of his Vipers. What a banger of a game between these two guys. Who is gonna take the 2-1 lead after 27 minutes? DeMusliM has completely lost his main base. Iba's main base has been safe for a while. The ghosts are at this point obviously regenerating a lot of energy. I don't know what happened there. Chainstone getting picked up. 14 lurkers against 14 ghosts. There's still a couple of infestors out on the map as well. Ooh, DeMusliM could scan them, or snipe them, or EMP them. I think he needs to be careful. He saw them move towards the top left side. Oh, he's going to try to land a Fungo, guys. This could hurt. One Fungo does land. But nice EMP there. Oh my goodness. That's a lot of dead medevacs right now. Fungo and Parasitic Bomb. And there's a lot of ghosts inside of these medevacs. What are we doing? What are we doing? No! No! Okay, they live. They live. Well, a couple ghosts died, but that could have been a whole lot worse. Picking up that many ghosts on low HP fungal medevacs with a Parasitic Bomb. Whew. How many resources are left, guys? I'm feeling plenty, right? Yeah. Like, these bases have not even really been touched. This is not one of these games where the map is mined out. Seems like Ben should definitely save his orbital. You don't want to lose orbitals. The scans are very important, but he's paying attention to his ghosts on the right side of the map. Actually ends up losing a ghost as well. Ends up losing a few more tanks. Kills a decent amount of Zerglings. There he is, baby. Hello. Darkness, my old friend. Welcome back, you shining star. It's gonna make the difference, guys. Long have we waited. But Accidental Swarmos is here. Oh, Infestors in a bit of a pickle. Ben does not have the advanced ballistics upgrade, and with this many Liberators, I feel like that would be big. It's an interesting way to deal with Liberators, just dropping power bombs. With 5 Vipers, I guess there is plenty of energy on the side of Eva. 116 army supply against 111. There he is! Oh, there he went. Did not quite have the impact that I thought he would have. Gonna try to land a couple of snipes on these lurkers, but good job with the infestors on the high ground, landing a few fungals. We have one abduct as well on the tank, but his hatchery is so damn low on HP, guys. It's 1 or 2 tank shots away from going down. Supply is still very close. Marauders thinking about a forward stim. Only 6. Oh my god, 19 lurkers still? What the hell? Oh, then I guess Eva is doing it at this point, guys. The lurker. Ben's enemy. I can't believe that he managed to get 19 freaking lurkers out. We had a lot of goals at one point. It was 14 against 14 for the longest time, or 10 against 11. Unfortunately, Ben did not get the best of Eva here in the late game. Liberator's going to try to make the difference one more time. 2 Hydras and 1 Queen. There isn't a lot of anti-air, so the Liberators could still have a big impact on this game. 21 freaking lurkers, man. How's Eva's economy? 900 minerals, 200 gas. 1 base economy. But I guess that's enough. You can get a couple Hydras out. Land a couple fungals. All these lurkers are relatively low on HP. Huh? How did he see that? Did the armory die? Ah, the armory died. Okay. We have a parasitic bomb going down on one of the Liberators over here. Oh, mistake here by Ebas. Ebas trying to land the fungals, but he misrallied his infestors, and now there is a severe lack of anti-air. Because those were actually the ones that could help him a little bit, right? With a fungal, maybe a neuroparasite. That could have been his friend. Where is that Hydra then, by the way? It's nice. Ben is just... I wouldn't hate like a 4 Marauder drop in the main base. I feel like Eba has a hard time cleaning that kind of stuff up. Since his army is 22 freaking lurkers. There are a lot of resources left to be mined from this base in the bottom right side. This base doesn't have too much. But yeah, Ben could maybe slowly but steady get his hands on this base with the Rich Vespian guys. I bet Eva is surprised, by the way. It's like, what the hell? I thought the old man couldn't play long games. Why the hell is he taking his sweet time? As Ben gets 2 lurker kills. Well, we went from 22 to 20. Ben is playing an amazing best of 5. Eba is playing really good too, but I think I expected Eba, and I think a lot of us expected Eba to play good. He is a 13-year-old high Grandmaster League player who plays StarCraft almost every single day. So I think we all expected Eba to be pretty damn solid, but Ben is putting up one hell of a fight. One Infestor has been rebuilt. There are 4 Vipers on the map. Feels that Eba is playing now with a lot of urgency. 1 tank pops, a lot of unfortunate rally points in this game for DeMusliM, as he's going to get on top of this planetary fortress, guys. And when this PF dies, all these barracks are going to be in a bit of a pickle. And yeah, DeMusliM is going to try to float away as many as he can, save the starport, save the barracks. This is a pretty important base. Eba is also mining up that base on the other side of the map. Rich Vespian, guys, it means that he can now build infestors for days. The Hydra count is still surprisingly low. You think that if you see that many Liberators that you would get a few more, but I guess he's just mostly relying on Vipers. I don't know what I'm looking at, but I like it. Come on, the boys. 1 more. 1 more. Ben is pretending they are changelings right now. Oh! He's like, just kidding, they're not. He's gonna snipe the Hydra then, or the Lurker then. I think he's gonna go for the Lurker then. If I know my Benny. I can go for the Hive then. He was not gonna get anything there, but it does buy him some time to build another command center. Yeah, I know football is starting. I will put it on. I was gonna put it on after this game is over. I will obviously not end the stream, guys. I will watch it on the site. I'm very pumped for a semi-final against Croatia. I will definitely watch that with all my family and friends. This quarterfinal is kind of a foregone conclusion. We're gonna wipe the floor with these washed up boys from Argentina. Europe all the way, baby. Croatia already set the right example. Top 4 could be all European. We have 20 lurkers and 6 infestors. As we drop a parasitic bomb. Couple of parasitic bombs. Seven Liberators still out on the map. There are now 6 Hydras, so the anti-air has increased a little bit. Nice fungo on a couple of the ghosts. This is a terrifying Zerg army to play against. The ghosts have a decent amount of energy. One nuke. We even have a bit of long distance mining here, by the way, guys. Why is this Liberator here? Ben forgot about a lip that's now guarding a very empty main base. Oh? Oh? Eva? Are you paying attention? Eva? Eva? I think he knows. He knows. He's gonna bring over the overseer. That nuke. Still. Ooh, not land, but it was close. Maybe an EMP? Unfortunately, only connects with a single infestor. 136 army supply for Eva against 89. Ben actually has a lot of money in the bank, but he keeps on losing all his infrastructure. And because he's forced to rebuild or relocate or rebuild the barracks over and over again, he doesn't have any tech labs, he couldn't build any ghosts, he doesn't have any factories. If he spends his money, this could be very close. This much money in the bank. No, oh no, we're not building Marines. Ooh, that's a nice fungal there by Eva. As he's gonna go for it, he's gonna send all the links forward as well. Can Ben save the ghost? He's gonna use cloaking. And it seems like a decent amount of ghosts are dying. A big parasitic bomb as well in the middle of all these medevacs. The Liberator and the tank are trying to do whatever they can, but I think there's just a little bit too much Zerg here. As another orbital dies, and after a 35-minute banger, it is the 13-year-old man, Eva, that takes the 2-1 lead in this second best of 5 of the night. Honestly, that was a very good game, and I think they both had opportunities to win it. That was a lot of fun. Whew. Definitely a killer game. They really had their moment. Both of them had their moments, and I think they both played really good. I enjoyed it. Of course, it got a bit sloppy sometimes, but it was a crazy game. With nukes, Niduses, everybody's going to make a couple of mistakes. It's a shame for Ben that at one point I feel like his rally points really let him down. He had like 4 or 5 goals being rallied into lurkers, a couple of tanks being rallied into the lurkers. Thank you, Kansas. I'm not concerned. What is our next game? Did they say? Data C, then Tropical. So Data C. I don't know if they need a moment or not. Oops. It's the game, guys. Eva says he needs toilet real quick. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and take a very tiny break as well, guys. Just 2 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and grab myself a drink, run to the restroom too. After that, I'll be back with Game 4 between DeMusliM and Eva. Alright, see if the boys are ready. Amazing, you got Serral for this. How did that happen? I asked him. I was like, Yona, you would do me a massive favor if you want to join. Oops. And Yona, the sweetheart that he is, he said, all right. He said previous Friday wouldn't work, but this Friday would work for him. He said he doesn't like that it's that late, but he was willing to do it for us one time and one time only. And we really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. They're bantering a little bit in the lobby. Eva wrote, this egg made me sweat a lot. And then DeMusliM wrote, this poor eggman. Ben says, good luck, good luck. Eva. Hi Roddy, are you in Homestead Cup? Yes, I will either be there Friday night very late or Saturday morning. The first 2 days of Homestead Cup I will be covering on my own channel. I'll be doing the B stream from home for the first 2 days, and then on Saturday morning I'll be part of the main stream, and Sunday as well. Predict today's score. I think we win 2-1. I think the Netherlands will win 2-1. How do you pronounce? We say Virgil. Virgil van Dijk. That's his name. Virgil van Dijk. Onze rots.
Round 4. Fight.
In the top right side of Data C, we are looking at the main base of our UK Terran, who's currently living in Sweden. One of the best Age of Empire players in the world and one of my best friends. This is DeMusliM. Playing one hell of a series so far. I'm very proud of him, and I'm very grateful that he decided to play. In the bottom left side of Data C, we are looking at the main base of the man who was born in the year 2009. So he's not 30, he's 13. This is Iba, representing the Platinum Heroes. And in my excitement of trying to get ready, we have to rub the shirt, guys, to get a bit of luck. I forgot to get myself a drink, but I still have a little bit, so I think that's okay. After this series, we gotta get going very quick with Trigger versus Radata. That is going to be our next best of 5. That's our co-main event of the evening. And after that, it is time for Serral versus Clem. I don't think that Trigger Radata is going to be ultra long, so I'm not ultra worried about our schedule. Unless these guys decide to play another 35-minute banger. Then we are in a bit of trouble, but hopefully that won't happen. What are we doing? Okay, good. Do you have any spotted gray hairs yet, old Roddy? I definitely realize that my hairline is running backwards. It's receding slowly but steady. And on stressful evenings like this, I'm probably losing a few hairs here and there as well. But as long as the Netherlands wins tonight, guys, I will be flying. I'm obviously already having a very good Friday. I'm really enjoying this event. Big shout out to Basilisk. We have a comment for that as well. !Basilisk in the chat. If you guys are enjoying the Big Brain Bouts, please give them a follow on Twitter. That's really all they want. A lot of you guys are wondering how you can support this financially or what to do, but all you really have to do, show them some love on Twitter, then they are happy, then I'm happy, and we'll all be good. I think it's mostly that we used to have a lot of players that were called Von Der, and now we have a few less, but there's still plenty. I kind of want to play a couple songs, but I will wait. The Reapers of DeMusliM have been pretty successful in this best of 5 so far. He got 2 links on Moondance, he got 2 links on Waterfall, but on Waterfall he did lose his Reaper a little bit too early. Data C is a bigger map, so it should be easier for Iba to not really take any losses here. If Ben would have moved that Reaper 1 pixel forward. Oh, he gets it! He gets it!
First blood.
Actually, that's pretty good. A bit of lost mining time there. One of the drones morphing into a building. Cancelled the morphing building, but still ended up losing the drone. So good start here for Benny. What is a bit unfair, by the way, is as far as I know, there are like 35 or 40,000 people from Argentina in the stadium. And there are 1,400 people from the Netherlands. Feels like we are playing an away game. But that won't stop Louis van Gaal. We're all proud members of Louis van Gaal's army. The master plan will come full circle. We'll finally get our revenge for 2014. It's actually kind of funny, guys, because in 2014, when the Netherlands played Argentina in the semi-final, I was in Atlanta to cover a StarCraft 2 event, or Red Bull Battlegrounds Atlanta. I don't know if anybody remembers that one. And I remember watching the game in the afternoon from a place with some nice wings and a couple beers, and everything was supposed to be perfect. Then it went down to penalties, and we got eliminated. Kind of sad. But ages later, we're still covering StarCraft, and this time around we'll get our revenge, baby. Let's freaking go! No, it was not the Scarlett Bomber Banger 20. That one was in, I think, New York. That was actually before, not really before my time. I was obviously active in StarCraft, but I wasn't really somebody that got invited for those kinds of events. That was, I think, the first Red Bull event that they ever run. I think Day 9 and DJ Weed and stuff covered that one. Later on, the Red Bull Battlegrounds came back, and we had one in Washington, Atlanta, Detroit, and I did cover all of those. It was just like 1 or 2 years prior. Like that Scarlett Bomber game was probably in like 2011, and the event that I'm referring to was in 2014. So a couple years apart. How did you like Detroit? Well, I'm not going to share this story again because I've shared it so many times already, but I actually got semi-kidnapped in Detroit, so it wasn't the most pleasant experience I've ever had. Ended up in a warehouse in the middle of nowhere, and they wanted $250 for me to get out of that place, so... Out of all the events I've ever gone to, that was not the most pleasant one. I'm happy that I managed to get my way out of there in the end. That's a true story. I'm not lying. I was legit scared. You guys should have seen the text messages I was sending to Ben. But it's a very long story, and I've shared it too many times already, so I don't really want to share it again. But we have a Spire going down for Eba. A 6-minute Spire, sorry, as I'm keeping my eye on the game. I'm just trying to interact with you guys a little bit. In chat. Benny has 3 bases up and running, and he's kind of dancing around, staying active with the Reapers and the Hellions. Hasn't lost a single unit yet. Might wait for a good opportunity to actually send that Viking in. As the Queens are working on the Hellions, and one of the Hellions does go down. It's not a big deal, but I do feel that some of these bio pushes become a bit more terrifying if you can save your Hellions and keep them alive and morph them into Hellbats. Ooh, that's actually a bit painful for Eba as he was trying to morph a lot of these lings into Banelings. Not bad here by Benny. Still has that Viking on the edge of the main base. I'm keeping a close eye on the minimap. Not decided to really use it yet. A couple of the Baneling connections in previous games have been a bit too big when they didn't need to be. This time around seems that Ben is on point. I really love the spirit of Ben, man. He can just play these super long games and he's willing to do it all over again. Baneling speed is done, and that means that DeMusliM has to be a bit more careful at this point. He is obviously enjoying a little upgrade advantage. 2 queens getting picked up. I feel like Ben is playing on point. Throughout the entire best of 5, I've absolutely been loving how on point Ben is with his upgrades. I don't know if upgrades are like a very big thing in Age of Empires as well. Like, I have absolutely zero understanding and clue of that game. But Ben is doing this better than a lot of Terrans that are playing StarCraft every single day. Does not skip a beat. I think the Viking has finally landed and is going to try to get a bit of damage done. Don't think it's going to win that fight against the Queen. It will get close, but yeah, Mudas are out. Queen wins the fight. Eba's looking pretty good here with 74 drones. This is a proper drop in the main base though. There are 13 Banelings out on the map. The Banelings were all the way in the bottom right side, so it's going to take a little while before they show up. Ben with a decent amount of Marine skills. 10 drones immediately. Picks up a couple of the Lings as well. Here are the Banelings. Can the DeMusliM still get out of there? He picks up a couple, and at the same time he's going to try to get lucky with these Marines in the bottom right side. Eba left a few Lings behind, but he needs a few Banelings too. And there are Banelings nearby. I am watching the Netherlands versus Argentina, but I scheduled this, guys, like 10-12 days in advance. It goes a lot of planning into this. And I am not going to contact 8 pro gamers and deny them an opportunity to win $500. And I'm not going to disappoint BASILISK just because there is a football match going on. Even though I'm very invested in the football match and I really hope we win, I don't want to cancel events for that kind of stuff. Like, if it was the semi-final, you know, then I'm on. That one I really want to see, but like, Argentina is not really going to be much of a threat to us. So I told all my friends as well, I'll watch the semi-finals with you guys, don't worry. As we have a couple of Marines in the center of the map, and needs to save as many as he can, and he does. There's a tank that's getting a couple of good shots off on these Banelings. The trades so far have been favoring the DeMusliM, but okay, Eba with a bit of a move command here, guys. That's a decent amount of... I love how the move commanded Banelings still got a pretty good connection on a couple of Marines there. Big Daddy Thor is going to get a few shots off. These Mudas are going to be in trouble. There is a lot of creep in the center of the map. And Eba's mechanics are just pretty damn good. And Ben is not like he's way slower or he's falling apart, but I do feel that Eba is letting some of that speed shine. Ben's macro is very solid. That's the one thing that I feel like he has not decreased in at all. But when it comes to map vision and sometimes even map awareness, even though Eba's the one who just move commanded a couple of units, I do feel that Eba is getting the best of Ben in a couple of the little traits. Thank you, AZ Eonline. I'm bad at pronouncing the names on Twitch. Baneling count is at, it's going to be a 37 by the time that these 8 Banelings are done morphing. That is a decent amount. I don't think we have too many Widow Mines here. It's a lot of medevacs once more, but we have no proper answer for this many Banelings. And Ben is going to try to split his Marines to the best of his ability. He's going to try to save the Thor as well, and he does. That's actually a very sweet save. He used the boost in the perfect moment and somehow is able to get the Big Daddy Thor out of there. I would say at this point maybe just trying to get up to like 40-50 Marines. Good job here by Eba getting on top of these building barracks. But that's going to be a triple cancel. And Eba just always has enough Banelings ready to connect with a lot of these Marines. And the Widow Mine count has not really been updated. Oh! Ben not falling for that one. Eva thought he could just get a single Zergling to activate that Widow Mine, but instead that Widow Mine went full Steph Curry on us and gets a good shot up. 14 medevacs again, by the way. It's gonna make it 15. That's the sweet spot, guys, between 15 and 16. There isn't too much creep here in the bottom, and that's obviously because DeMusliM has mostly been pushing towards the bottom right side. We did have that one big drop. The infestation pit has gone down now, so Eba feels that he's got enough time to... This has to be intimidating when you see this many medevacs. You're like, man, normally killing a medevac is nice because you're like less healing, but... I think it's safe to say there is healing for days here. With the 3-3 upgrades finishing up soon, if Ben can just get like 20 Marines extra, 50 Marines or 2-3 Marauders, it could really start adding up. Need a couple of extra depots, but those are on the way too. Like, I think this is maybe as good as it gets for DeMusliM in this game. He's got +3. +3 armor is very close to finishing up as well. And he's fighting an army that's pure Ling Bane at the moment. A couple of Widow Mines, connecting with an Overseer, connecting with the Mudas too. Well done by DeMusliM. Eba has, honestly, not the best army at this point. I'd be a little bit concerned if I was Eba. That Widow Mine shot is good too. That's a lot of links going down. As we have the Banelings trying to connect with the Marines, but the DeMusliM is splitting like it's 2010 all over again. Saving a decent amount of Marines, more units coming in from the top side. How much are these Mudas doing? Well, the Mudas are doing a decent amount of damage in the main base. Ben, only medevacs remaining, by the looks of it, is going to fly the Thor over. A couple of Widow Mines in the mix as well. One of them gets picked off, the other one does manage to burrow. Whew. Good job by Eva with those Mudas forcing Ben to retreat. Otherwise, it could have been gnarly. Liberated splash damage as well. Another Thor in the back. Another save by DeMusliM. Ben is very good in saving them Thors. He's treating them like they are his elephants. Widow Mine. Oh, that's good. And the Overseer as well. Wow, another 2 for 1. Huh? Is it happening, guys? Are we actually going to get a game 5? 22 Banelings, 70 Zerglings, and 13 Mudalisk. Hive tech is done, but we don't have any of those Hive upgrades yet. There's no Adrenal Glands, no Ultras or something along those lines, no Great Aspire. Now we even have a couple of Liberators sieging up. Still a 2 upgrade advantage on the side of our Terran. As Eva is coming in from the top left side and the bottom left side, but one Widow Mine connected with a lot of Marines, but this is, it feels most of the time it's mostly medevacs. It is mostly medevacs. Oh, that Widow Mine does go off. As we still have a decent amount of Banelings here in the mix, but Eva does not really want to use his Banelings on the Thor. DeMusliM again picks them up with his medevacs and saves them one more time. Doing a very good job. How many Thors did he lose in this game? He lost 2. I feel like it could have been a few more. He's done a good job in saving them a few times. Unfortunately, he's not quite able to find any damage lately. He's able to move out. Eva has lost 9k more. If this was between a very active Terran and a very active Zerg, I would say that I think the Terran is winning, despite the fact that the minimap looks very intimidating. Ben needs to do something with that army supply advantage. There are 11 Widow Mines right now. I don't know if he left a bunch at home or if the majority of them are with his army. I only see 2. Where are these 11 Widow Mines? Maybe we set up a trap somewhere? Free damage. I really like this. Just a little drop to create a bit of a distraction, create some chaos, and also force Eba to return home once in a while. As Eba is going to try to get on top of that tank, I guess, or just goes for a random run by, but with the Marauders, with the army nearby, a bunker, that's really not going to do a whole lot. This kind of stuff is just very annoying to deal with. You don't really want to bring your Mutas and your Overseer all the way back home. Because while you're doing that, to clean up that Widow Mine drop, that's obviously while the DeMusliM is going to make some progress again. Libra is going to siege up on top of the base, which means Eva can mine from it. And this time around, the army is going to get on top of the hatchery. And this hatchery will fall, guys. I mean, Ben has money in the bank. Now we do have all the hive tech stuff. This is a big counterattack. How many Widow Mines did we leave behind? Because this is the kind of army that I think really would struggle with a couple of defensive Widow Mines. Will Ben even turn around? Seems like the answer is no so far. The missile turrets are doing a pretty good job. We have a decent amount of units returning home, but I don't think that's necessarily enough. This army is still going strong though, and it's very Marauder heavy. Maybe Ben taking a note or two out of the playbook of Maru and Bunny. Like, this is actually very hard to fight for Lings and Banes, especially if they are still working with a 2 upgrade deficit. The Mutas are going to try to make the difference, but Eva's supply is just disappearing. He has lost a lot on the other side of the map, and he needs to get a fantastic cleanup here. I don't think it's going to happen. The DeMusliM once more, it's some very sexy splits, is going to send it to game 5. The old man still got it, guys. The old man has still got it. Very good game, and the fact that Ben's upgrades are always so quick and so on point is really allowing him to get some great trades in the middle of the game. Like, and that makes it harder for Eba to fire up that hive and get like a proper late game army out. What was the final map? Tropical. Tropical. I want to contact Trigger and Ratata. Hopefully they are ready. What a series, guys. What a series between these two. You can see that Argentina is defending that 0-0 like their life depends on it. They are happy to keep us at 0-0 for as long as they can. This has been a very long best of 5 between these two, but it just means that it was good matchmaking, guys. I think it was very good matchmaking. Young school or new school versus old school, young blood versus a dinosaur. And they're still very evenly matched. Nobody smashed anyone, no matter who wins game 5. Some people said that Eva was going to absolutely smash the DeMusliM. That absolutely did not happen. Oh, damn it, I hosted the wrong map. Sorry. I need to contact Trigger. These young kids, guys. Why do they want me to host? That is correct, Jargo. The young man is born in 2009. 3 years after I was already playing LAN tournaments with Ben. Yeah, the games have been very good. Okay, I see too. That's not true, Reynor. Ben absolutely had hair in 2009 because I have pictures with Ben in at the Inter Extreme Masters in Kiev in 2010, where Ben had a check for the 3rd place and he had hair. So that is fake news, mate. That is fake news. Go. No. Sorry. They're making fun of me. Alright, I think they're ready. They're having too much fun, bantering at my expense. Yeah. How do you guys think that Ben was winning that Tinder contest between StarCraft 2 players? Where you would swipe who you think who's hot and who's not. Ben was number 1 in 2010. And that's not because he had no hair. He was very proud of it. I think when Ben sees Asta grow up, And Astra has a son too, and he's a granddad. I think he will be telling the stories about how he at least was full of belief that he was the sexiest StarCraft 2 player on the planet in 2010 because of a swiping contest they ran on Team Liquid.
Final round. Fight!
In the bottom left side of Tropical Sacrifice, we are looking at the main base of the man that was born in 2009. He's playing one hell of a best of 5 so far as well. Obviously, massive kudos to this young man for making it tonight and giving us some awesome games. This is Platinum Heroes Iba. In the top right side of Tropical Sacrifice, we are looking at the main base of our Dinosaur, one of the best Age of Empire 4 players on the planet. Of course, a little less hair right now than he had in 2010. But what he does still have are some very sexy splits. And honestly, just good macro, micro all around. I think it is safe to say that he's still got it. This is DeMusliM. I think the next time that there is a StarCraft 2 event and Ben gets invited as a caster and then some people are like, why is DeMusliM invited? I thought he's all Age of Empires now. There are maybe 1 or 2 other casters on the planet that would have played a best of 5 as good as Ben did here tonight. So I think you guys can cut him some slack for that one. He's got a very hairy chest too. I can confirm that. We have a couple of links on the way here for Iba. He's doing the opening that Lambo has been doing a fair bit in ZVT. I wonder what this is all about. Why doesn't Ben play SC2 mainstay anymore? Because he is very good in Age of Empires. He's good in StarCraft, but he's very, very good in Age of Empires. And I think he loves competing. So that's something that brings him a lot of joy. His stream does very well. He's a father. He's trying to provide for his family. And I think he's a happier man. And he's more successful streaming mostly Age of Empires. But it doesn't mean he doesn't love StarCraft. It's something he just did for like 7 or 8 years almost every single day. Eventually people want a change of scenery, right? We have 6 links running into the natural. The Reaper is all the way on the other side of the map, and that is a little bit unfortunate. Marine in trouble, SCV in trouble. Oh. I don't think this is the start that Ben was hoping for. I was wondering a couple times why Lambo does this, but I've never seen it really go this well for Lambo. That's so many SCVs not doing anything. This is a disaster of a start. I know that Iba's opening is not the most economic Zerg opening in the game, but this is really, really, really bad for Ben. I'm not sure what the Reaper was trying to do, but it has 0 kills. This is sad. This is a very, very sad. Oh, such a rough start. 4 SCVs going down in total. The Reaper will finally clean it up. I think that Ben should have sent the Reaper home immediately. Is he even building? Okay, he at least managed to finish up the command center still at a relatively decent moment, but I think that's very painful. If you take a look at the graph right now, you can really see the impact of all those SCVs chasing those drones. And then on top of that, 4 SCVs falling. What do you do from here on out? I'm not totally certain, but yeah. Do we have any hair left when SC3 comes out? I think I will have some hairs left by the time Stormgate comes out. When SC3 comes out, I am not too certain. There is a good chance that I will not have any hairs by then. But I can do that a bit later, Blaze. But the TLDR is that I'm just very happy. There is a sign of life coming out of Blizzard. And anything that just switches up the game and changes everything a bit, makes people more excited, is good. And I like the changes overall a lot, especially the sensor tower, the ghost change. Those are some very promising changes if you ask me. I like the quicker upgrades too for Protoss. Can finally play some Zealot Stalker again. What will Ben's follow-up be? It seems like we just have a third CC going down in the main base. Doesn't seem that he is too stressed out over that start, but that start was bad, make no mistake. Of course, Iba's economy takes a tiny blow by him opening up with the pool before the hatch and making 6 Zerglings as early as he did, but it was a very, very successful start for Iba. Who's once more going for a pretty damn quick lair, by the way, guys. A 5-minute lair here for Iba. Over Mars or Robbe? Robbe was way better, mate. I think everybody knows that. Overmars was not bad, but Robbo was way better. I think when it comes to the history, Robbo is probably one of, I don't know, maybe top 5? Definitely top 10 Dutch player of all time, but maybe even top 5. I don't think as Overmars as someone who I would rank that highly. Overmars is also a bit weird. That man likes to take pictures of his you-know-what and send it to employees, guys. Who would do such a thing? Unbelievable scenes. One of the Hellions getting picked off there by the Queens. Von Basten is indeed Dutch. He's actually one of the main pundits these days, in this day and age, on Dutch television. A lot of people don't like him because he's a bit of a negative Nancy. He's never excited. Like, I feel like we could smash Argentina 6-0 tonight, and then Van Basten would be like, well, you know, I didn't really like the way that we moved the ball in the midfield. The defenders weren't quite in the correct place. I don't mind him that much, but he is he's a bit negative. Is Bergkamp number 1? Of course not. But Bergkamp was very good. Definitely better than Overmars. We have a Viking. I mean, the supplies, by the way, just don't look very promising. It really just goes to show how a game of StarCraft 2 can snowball. Eba just had a much better start this time around. Gonna drop a macro hatch in the main base. Viking guns down an Overlord. Bit of an advanced Viking, perhaps. Yeah. I mean, I have no real problems with it. I don't mind it if people have an opinion on Dutch television and they don't get super carried away, but I do agree that Van Basten is a bit overly negative. It's like, if you almost never get excited anymore. Like, I can also cast StarCraft 2 from a point of view where every single game I expect a Serral, Dark, or Clem performance, and if it's not that, then we don't get excited. But that's stupid, right? Because then you can almost never get excited over anything. How was the first series today? Well, it was alright. The second one was better. But Trifax honestly gets a big dub, so impressive. It was not bad. It was kind of short, but it was still pretty fun. This run back was really hurt. Ben needs to raise that depot ASAP, and he does. Banelings are gonna open up the wall here, and this is all right. Oh. Okay, that's 9 SCVs going down. We have a few more Banelings trying to run into the mineral line at the third base as well, but it's only a single Baneling that connects there, so that could have been a whole lot worse. But I still think it's a bit painful. I would honestly kind of love to see Ben just 8 Rex here, guys. Just kind of get it over with, pedal to the metal. Because I think he's a bit too far behind to really turn this into an ultra proper late game scenario. Army supply right now looks pretty good. And this time around we actually have a lot of Marines as well. There are a couple of Banelings connecting with Marauders and Hellbats immediately, and plenty of Banelings left to connect with these Marines. We do need to save that tank. It's very important to save your tanks. The pushes just don't hit as hard. Ben has taken a few too many blows in this game to really get the sheer amount of units out that you are kind of looking for. And a lot of these SCVs are very low on HP, so just hold position on these links. Could net Eba a decent amount of kills. We have a couple of extra Banelings coming in as well. They connect too. Eba is doing a good job here, guys. He's all over Ben in game 5. We even have the top left side running. I'm not exactly sure what I would like to see Ben do, but I kind of think just to go for barracks number 6, 7, and 8. And the spam Marine tank parade push. Trying to get the job done. Thank you, Ians Burrito, by the way, for the 15 months, mate. I appreciate it. By the way, can we just talk about how lucky Argentina is that this game is still 0-0? It's unbelievable. We have a couple of Marines getting on top of drones and an Overlord in the top left side, so that is honestly not too shabby. Even goes a little Liquid Clam there.
Liquid Clam.
Doesn't get too many, but it gets a few. That's obviously nice. That Baneling run by is going to get denied by a couple of tanks in the high ground, and we still have the big Gabriel Bonke too, keeping this mineral line safe. Eva has more than enough units to deal with these Marines and Medevacs. It's banned once more, by the way. Very heavy on the Medevacs, guys. This time around it's just 6, but all 6 of them are in the top left side. This is gonna take a sweet time, man. The old man does not get tired. Wants to make the best of his StarCraft 2 evening. I think deep down inside, guys. No. No. It's okay, we'll still smash him. It's okay, we'll still smash him. It's okay, guys. You want to give those people in the stadium somewhat of a fun evening, right? I'm not worried. We'll be fine. It's all good. Little drop in the bottom side of the map for Benny here, and actually beautiful positioning on all these Marines as he is getting a decent trade-off, and yeah, he's indeed still gonna turn this into something. We have the upgrade advantage once more on the side of Ben, even in a game where I feel like he hasn't really been able to gain a lot of momentum and never found the same amount of damage as Eva found, for instance. More SCVs have died than drones in this game. This is not a planetary fortress yet. It's a lot of Marines, and if the Marines were in the choke point, we'd be okay, but the Marines are not in the choke point. And this is where you kind of love to see those 6 Medevacs pick up all those Marines immediately, but that ain't happening. Five Marine drop in the top left side of the map is going to pick off a couple of drones. It's okay, we'll still get him. 1-1 at halftime, 2-1 full time, guys. This right here is going to be the rematch of that match we had against Brazil in the quarterfinals of the World Cup in 2010, when we made it all the way to the final. Brazil took a 1-0 lead, but then we had Snyder tying things up, Snyder making it 2-1, and we still advanced and Brazil went home. That is what is happening here. We have our first Vipers on the way and an Ultralisk Cavern, as we also have Adrenal Glands being researched. So Eba is doing all the late game stuff a lot quicker than he was able to do it on Data C. I really like that Ben has become a bit more active with the drops, and since Eva is so heavy on the Ling Bane, sure his units are quick, but it's hard to have them always in the right place. Against Uruguay Flate, that was a great one. I was on City Square back then, watching that game. Surrounded by, I don't know, 40, 50, 60,000. I want to say Rotterdammers, but I guess mostly people from all over the Netherlands. That goal was insane. This Medevac is going to die relatively quickly, but the DeMusliM right now going for some triple prong rise. Little drop in the top left side, and that's some nice target fire on the drones. We have this drop in the bottom right side, and it seems that Eba has taken care of that. But these Marines, guys, oh my goodness. Eba not able to take care of all 3 fires at once. Took care out of 2 of 3, but 2 out of 3. The third one turned into a grease fire. And that's 23 drones falling. And once more, there's not really a whole lot of money in the bank for Eba. How many dead drones in this game? 30. 38. 48. 48. Old man Messi, right? He is an old man. He's still very good. I'm not a hater on Messi, guys. Don't turn this into something weird. Just because I'm cheering for my country and I want the Netherlands to advance, do not make it weird. I respect Messi. He's the GOAT. But even the GOATs have an expiration date. And his expiration date in the World Cup is today. I am still a believer. We have one Ultra in the mix as well, and the bailing count is still pretty high. Eba, man, with an overwhelming amount of links here too, and if the links can get on top of the tanks, this can get very gnarly. 3-3 upgrades finish up for the 13-year-old Zerg from England as well. And the DeMusliM gets cleaned up again, and at this point we are even going to drop parasitic bombs on the Medevacs. I have the feeling that this one is starting to look very, very grim for Benny. Obviously had a bad start. So many tanks at home, by the way. Sweet baby Jesus. He's got 11 tanks here. There isn't really a lot of bio support, and that means that if these ultras can get on top of the tanks, or even just a couple of links on top of the tanks, I think this one is all over, but the crying. Bottom right side is not going to land either because there is a burrowed Zergling. Ben has played one hell of a best of 5, and he's made this in a very entertaining series. DeMusliM saying you did me dirty, bruv. I think referring to those first 6 links in the beginning of the game, catching him off guard and kind of disrupting his entire build order and taking away all the momentum. But that really was one hell of a great best of 5. Congratulations to Eva for winning part 2 of War of the Roses many years later. Congrats. That was, I think, a much better series than a lot of people thought it was going to be. Since we are a bit behind on schedule, guys, I'm going to go ahead and take a 90-second break and immediately fire up the third best of 5 of the night. It's Trigger versus Reddita. I'll see you guys soon.